Good evening to everybody, and Happy New Year. Did you notice something in these props that we have? Have you noticed we have the three kings found their way to the manger? They are already there. But I noticed something that they left their camel over here. And it's only one camel, supposed to be three camels. Where are the two camels? Okay. So, my dear friends, I would like to share to you a story and the sharing of one preacher. And this is the story about. It is about high school students who were putting on a Christmas play, which they themselves had written. In the afternoon before the play's performance, the students suddenly realized that they had forgotten something, all about the three kings in the story. The solution: the director found three people to stand in for the three kings. All they had to do was to bring along some gift which was meaningful to them, and then explain in their own words what they had chosen that gift. The first of the three kings was 50-year-old father of five. He brought along a pair of crutches and explained, "Some years ago, I was in a head-on collision on the highway. I spent many months in the hospital with broken bones. No one was sure that I would ever walk again, but I tried and used these crutches for weeks. During that time, my whole attitude changed. I became happy and grateful for every little daily success. I learned to take nothing for granted. I bring these crutches as a symbol of my personal thanks to God." The second of the three kings was a mother of two children. She brought along a bundle of diapers and baby clothes. She explained, "I was very happy and successful as a graphic artist. Then I got married, and the bottom fell out of my life. My husband did not want me to work anymore, be as a housekeeper. So all he wanted me to do was stay at home and take care of the house. Then along came the babies, and they needed me. But after they grew up, I was again lost until I began to put my talents to work in creative art classes for children. I bring along this bundle of baby things to show that it was the little ones, the babies, who brought a new meaning into my life. I feel that my working and helping in their little world makes the whole family of mankind better." The third king was a young teenager. All he brought along was a blank piece of paper like this, without something typewritten. So he laid it before the infant Jesus in the crib and explained, I was not even sure whether I should come here or not. My hands are empty. I have nothing to give. In my heart, I long for success and meaning for my life. I am filled with doubts and questions and unrest. My future looks unclear to me. I lay this empty piece of paper before you, child in the crib, and ask you to bring me an answer to some of my problems. I feel empty on the inside, but my heart is open and receptive." So those were the stories of the three stand-in three kings. My dear friends, we are now in the beginning of this new year, 2016, and year 2015 is over. Just as the three people in the story encountered difficult and challenging days and have reasons to be grateful in their lives, and so do we. For many, the past years has been difficult and full of challenges. Some lost a loved one during the year and are struggling to come to terms with their loss. Looking back on the struggles and pains of the year, it can also be a time to look back in thanksgiving, a time to name the graces and the gifts that have come our way and have enhanced our lives. Thank God we are still alive and kicking. Are you alive and kicking? Yes? Okay. If you say yes, raise your hands and your feet that you are alive and kicking. Okay, so you are alive and kicking. No matter what we have been through, we all have something to be thankful for. We have been showered with the graces of God in one way or another. The greatest grace and the source of all other graces is the Lord's presence to us. That grace is the gospel passage in another gospel. The Word was made flesh, and He lived among us, and we saw His glory. Jesus, who is God, became flesh to remain with us until the end of time. Is that amazing? That God became man and lived with us, and He still be with us until the end of time? So we have to be thankful to that. Today, we celebrate the Feast of the Magi, or Epiphany. This feast is popularly called as the Feast of the Three Kings, not four kings. The three kings were Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthasar. Okay. Sometimes people say, oh, there are four kings. So I would like to tell the kids, don't be misled that there were four kings, okay? Don't be misled that there were four kings who searched for Jesus. According to them, three of them went to Jerusalem, and the fourth king named Burger King. They went to America, okay? So don't believe that there are four kings, only three kings, right? Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthasar, okay? So, well, anyway, it is called Epiphany because Jesus revealed Himself not only to the Jews, but also to the pagan visitors. And the word Epiphany means manifestation. In other words, Epiphany is the first and the foremost, the feast of God's revelation of Jesus Christ, the Word made flesh to the world. Jesus is our Savior, not only of the Israelites, but also for everyone. He is our Savior. And in this sense, the Magi represent all the other peoples of the world. The gospel story today tells us how God guided the three wise men to the baby Jesus by means of a special star. Back home in my parish where I was born, every Christmas Eve is a special day for me because as a little boy, I was fascinated with the well-lighted and decorated big star inside our church. We have a big church there, longer than this. So, if I'm not mistaken, the tail of the star measured around 20 to 30 feet long. So it is really a long tail. Sometimes it can reach the congregation. So I always look forward to seeing the star move towards the manger during the glorious singing of the Gloria. So when the Gloria starts, the star moved towards the manger here. Okay, and that was always a spectacle during midnight mass for me. Grown-ups and kids were thrilled and delighted to watch it. And during during the last mass, during the the three wise men, the Epiphany, after the Mass, the star will go back to its place at the back. So, my dear friends, how nice it would be for each of us to have a star to follow in the right direction. Well, it has been said that if there's what we call a star that you have to follow, if that is true, that all of us have stars to follow. So, but this time, they are not moving across the heavens. Our stars today are right down here on earth with us, and that is really true for us. There are many stars in this world. Our stars are people, it can be places, it can be things, it can be ideas that show us the way, that will inspire and attract us. Sometimes people are stars. Nowadays, we call famous singers or sports people or actors stars, right? Superstars, mega stars, and any other stars. Young people make heroes out of these stars. They imitate their speech, their dress, their move. Sometimes Kobe Bryant is being imitated by little kids because of that. They imitate their ideas. In the same way, we follow the religious heroes. We call them saints. We take their names, and we are trying to follow their example, their ideas, their writings. They are our stars that guide us to Jesus and God. Sometimes a good example can be a star. It pulls us and draws us together. A good idea can be a star too. Perhaps we get it from something we hear or see. Sometimes sickness and pain can be a star. It makes us feel useless for a while and gives us time to think and find meaning on it. The Bible is also a star. Even King Herod brought the three wise men looking into contact with the Bible. And the Bible is an excellent guide for people looking for Jesus. But of course, Jesus Christ is our first and foremost guiding star to God. He is our way, our truth, and our life. Of course, there is also the possibility of following the wrong star. It can be the Death Star of the Star Wars. The dark side, right? The dark side, okay. So there are people whose stars in life are possessions, power, position, or prestige. Misuse and abuse of this makes them the wrong stars, and they lost their way. So don't be fascinated with the dark side. Okay. Since the feast of the Epiphany, known as the Feast of the Three Magi, we associate it with the story of how the three wise men traveled to pay homage and present their respective gifts to Jesus. I will close this homily with this quotation. It's about gift, life, giving, and what else? Okay. So this is my quotation. The things we get in life can make us a living. The things we give to people can make a life. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving.